Hey, how's it going everyone? I hope that you're all having an amazing day. Welcome to episode 2 of my Minecraft Factions series. This series is being played on the Saicopvp servers and it's being played on the Overlord realm specifically. And this season we are going hard and we are doing it solo. I'm also pretty new to playing Minecraft PC and mistakes are constantly being made and my PvP has a lot of room for improvement, but we are going to get there, I promise. Anyways, let's start off today's video by picking the winner of the Mystical Charm giveaway. I used the random comment picker for this one and did double check to make sure that everybody that entered was in the draw. And Fringe-Patriot is the winner of the Mystical Charm giveaway. I'm going to be DMing him in-game soon, so hopefully we can get a clip of that for this video. If not this video, then for sure the next video. But let's jump straight into all of this week's games. Unfortunately, I messed up my recordings and did not get any in-game audio, let alone live commentary. I don't know exactly how I messed all of this up so badly, so I just want to apologize for that. But as you can see, we have set up in a new spot inside of our base. And the reasoning for this was because when my mobs were spawning in at the top of my base and I was farming at the bottom of my base, it was causing my mobs to despawn. So I moved my mobs down a little bit to get rid of that issue, and actually this is the same reason that my base ended up getting raided. But we are going to talk about that a little bit later in this video. I just ended up transitioning my original mob room into a cook room so that I would never have a shortage of food. And also currently I have my mobs that need darkness separated from the mobs that need light, but I'm not entirely sure what's happening because sometimes my zombies will spawn even inside of light, and sometimes the passive mobs were spawning even inside of darkness. So I don't know if that's something they've changed or if I'm just being crazy or what, but let's move on and I will show you guys my strategy that I am using in order to kill the horde right now, because I try to keep it as passive as possible. But as you will see, we end up getting into fights and we end up getting killed over and over and over again. But anyways, essentially what I do is I will go invisible and then I will get up into my spot where I wait for the horde to spawn. And the spot that I wait in is up in the air, so I don't have to really worry too much about getting tagged. Except that you will see later on that someone does end up getting me with a bow. But yeah, I just wait here until the horde spawns and then I will gear up and pot up and kill them as fast as possible. Up until recently, I was not 100% sure what people were throwing at to kill the horde. And you'll see later on that I somewhat transitioned into using that method because I was sick of dying, but I did end up having to DM a mod to figure out what those guys were throwing at him because I could just not for the life of me figure it out. But the guy in this clip right here not only comes in and swoops all 3 of my horde kills, but then he absolutely smashes me, and it was devastating. And you will see that after this I then switch into throwing the potions, but that didn't exactly work either, though in this fight I at least ended up getting like 1 hit in, I think. So horde can end up being really frustrating. You will see finally, after just being so fed up with the horde, I just ran in here last second and wasn't even swinging at the horde, though I ended up stealing 3 of this guy's kills, and thankfully he ran because honestly he probably could have ended up killing me. And we finally got through this level and we're now working on squid, which was great. So now before I talk about how and why I got raided, I just wanted to show you guys really quickly my method of fishing, which is also very passive and requires an invisible potion and a water breathing potion. And as this clip plays out, I want to take a second to talk about how frustrating killing the horde can be. And I wanted to know, am I the only one who thinks the horde is this frustrating, let me know down in the comments. But my suggestion for making this a little less tedious would be to set up an area similar to the way the lake and the mine are set up, but an area where the horde are naturally roaming and naturally respawning. These horde obviously wouldn't have much for drops except maybe on the rare occasion, kind of like mining and fishing, but they would at least count toward level progression, because right now horde only spawn like 2 to 3 times an hour and are literally being killed like in less than 60 seconds. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about my idea. Do you think it's a good idea, or am I just being crazy? But anyways, let's get back to the matter at hand, which is we did technically end up getting raided, and it was really weird though. So when I went back to my base, I noticed that my zombies were spawning but my squid weren't. So I teleported into my squid room and saw all of the destruction, and that's when I went back to spawn and turned on my recording before I came back to kind of go over all of the damage that was done. But as you can see, they got into this room somehow, and at first I had no clue how. I figured that my entire base had been cannoned, but it was weird because this was literally the only room that they got to. When looking for some sort of hole that they could have gotten into, I noticed that there was wood in the wall instead of cobblestone. And that's when it all dawned on me that I had made a big mistake when I grew these trees, that one of them grew into the wall, which caused an air gap that allowed them to seg into my base. Thankfully they only got one spawner, and after double and triple checking my walls to make sure that they're all entirely watered down, I think I have fixed this problem. I still have not gone back down there yet to set up spawners or anything, or farm or anything yet, but thankfully we do not technically have to go and make a new base yet, thankfully, but I am sure it's only a matter of time before we end up getting split and having to relocate. But you will see here, this is me after finishing the squid, trying to get some horde kills and mostly just dying. It took forever, but thankfully we did finally finish that round of horde and are now moving on into the slimes, and that is where I am going to end this video today. I hope you all enjoyed, and do me a favor, if you made it this far into the video, first of all, thank you so much. You guys are absolutely amazing. But secondly, please let me know down in the comments by leaving a comment that says I made it. Those comments mean a whole ton to me, and I hope you all have an amazing day. I'm out.